chapters beyond the book. We're going to be talking about everything you need to know to create true financial freedom through your writing. I am Brandy M. Miller. I am the creativity consultant for Creative Technology Services and the chief executive storyteller for 40daywriter.com. I also have 6 published works out there on Amazon right now and several different ones in the works. I specialize in self-publishing, so that's going to be my perspective. And we'll get started with the presentation. Thank you for joining us. Okay. I'm going to share with you my screen, so just hold on here. Okay. This is our presentation. All right. So reasons why people don't get their book written. They don't believe they can. They don't believe their story matters. They think it'll be too hard for them to do. They're afraid they won't be able to find a publisher, or they believe you have a better chance of winning the lottery than making money from writing books. And they're not necessarily wrong on that last one. All right. And why people don't publish their books. They're afraid their book isn't good enough. They're afraid of rejection, unaware of their alternatives. They're discouraged by rejection. Yeah, you get rejected a lot when you're pursuing agents and publishers. You get rejected by audiences a lot too. And they believe the people who tell them that you have to know somebody or be somebody to get a book published. Now, all of these things, there are ways to get around those fears. Okay. Why people don't make money from their books. Here's the top 5 reasons. They don't have an audience. They don't have a platform. They don't know what their message is, why it matters, and how to share it. They don't take responsibility for their message and their mission. And they don't know how to take advantage of opportunities to share their message so they can accomplish their mission. All of those things are fixable. Easily fixable. Well, I say easy. It's simple to fix them. It's not necessarily easy. All right, so here's what it takes to write a book. This is the truth. I've written more than a dozen of them, so I can tell you this with all honest experience. You must be willing to devote at least 10 minutes a day to your book. If you can devote 10 minutes a day to your book, you can get it written. And in fact, you can get it written in less than 3 years. Persistent. You must keep writing even when everything around you is going crazy, and it will. If you really want to write a book, that's the truth about it. Awareness. You've got to be aware of yourself, your mission, and the needs of your potential audience. Writing a book that doesn't have those 3 things is going to be writing an incoherent book. Not a good idea. Commitment. You must put aside the distractions and devote yourself to doing whatever it takes to finish. Okay? That means turning off the boob tube. It means shutting down YouTube. It means, stepping away from email and Facebook and Twitter and all the other things, and really devoting yourself and some time to writing that book. Okay? Creativity. You must be the kind of person who looks for ways to overcome whatever hurdles come up. There will be hurdles in life. For anything you want to do in life, there will be hurdles. But you have to be creative enough to look for ways to get around those hurdles. And if you can do that, you can write a book. Support. You're going to need cheerleaders, accountability coaches, and honest critiques on areas to improve. You can't get over self-doubt by yourself. Okay? Your self-doubts are not going to go away by you telling yourself you're good. Why? Because you don't have enough evidence to back yourself up. You need other people's input to help you get over those things. And last, humility. Your ego must not be so inflated that you can't handle criticism, whether it's deserved or undeserved. Every bit of criticism helps you. Good criticism, the kind that's constructive, tells you where you're going wrong so you can fix it. The undeserved criticism, well, that tells you something about the person who left it. And that's truth. And truth is a valuable commodity when you're writing books, because that's what you're sharing with people is the truth. Okay? So no matter what kind of criticism you get, take it as a gift. Look for the truth in it. Keep what's good. Toss out the rest. Here's what it takes to publish a book. All right, time. You must devote your time to pursuing a publisher. Even if you decide to self-publish, you need to shop around and make sure that you like the publisher you're working with. Persistence. You must persist in your efforts to find one despite all the obstacles. And again, there will be plenty of them. Awareness. You must be aware of the expectations that publishers will have of you, the pitfalls that you can fall into if you aren't careful, and the responsibilities that publishers will have to you. And knowledge. You need to know the industry, know your audience, know the key players, and know your options. Okay? Constantly be educating yourself. The publishing industry does change. What is okay today is not going to be okay tomorrow. Editors change, agents change, people change. The way things are done change. You need to keep yourself in the loop and keep yourself informed at all times. So knowledge, right? You need to know the industry, know your audience, know the key players, and know your options. Creativity. You must learn to differentiate yourself from the other authors competing for the attention of publishers. If you can't stand out in a crowd, you're not going to get chosen. Why? Because they don't want to pick somebody whose book is just going to sit there and collect dust. They want a book that's going to attract the attention of the audience. And if you can't attract their attention, how are you going to attract the attention of the audience? Connections. You do need to get out there and make connections. You need to network with other writers, agents, editors, and members of the press. You need to meet people. You need to know people. And you need to interact with people. Attend writers' conferences, do online stuff, whatever helps you meet some people. That's where you need to be. Patience. Publishing a book can be a frustrating experience that makes you wonder why you ever started this journey in the first place, but your book is worth it. Okay. I struggled. The first time I self-published a book, it took me 3 months of struggle and trying and failing and trying and failing. And it was really frustrating. But when I learned it, I didn't have to repeat that struggle all over again the next time. It was a little easier the next time, and a little easier and a little easier and a little easier until I finally got it. And that'll be the way it is for you. Okay, so here's what it takes to make money from a book. Branding. You must know the message you want to deliver, why that message matters, and who needs that message the most. Okay, marketing. You must know how, when, and where to deliver that message for the greatest impact on your audience. Platform. You have to have a place where you can gather the audience that needs your message so you can broadcast it to them simultaneously rather than chasing them down one by one. Service. You must seek to serve the needs of your audience each and every day. Creativity. You must be constantly looking for opportunities to expand your offerings and to repackage your contents so that your audience can get more out of what you've created. Consistency. Deliver more than your audience expects to receive each time they come in contact with you. This is a really important thing. If you build people up, if they walk away with a contact with you, making them feel better about themselves, feel more hopeful about their situation in life, or gaining knowledge that really moves them, they will come and surround you. You won't have to find them. They will find you. And they will tell other people about you because they will be so excited about what they received. Humility. Again, you have to be able to assess criticisms objectively, learn from them, and address them as quickly as possible. You can't let them sit out there unattended, right? If you get negative feedback, you can't just let that go. Either you need to address it in some way by thanking them, or you need to address it by fixing whatever problem it is that you have control over fixing. If it's a confusion about Amazon's shipping, sometimes you get criticized for things that you didn't do, right? You can respond to that by being helpful in providing the information they need so that the next person doesn't have that same problem. Okay? Every criticism left out there is a gift, because here's the reality. Out of 100 people that you serve, you will get 3 people who will be willing to write you a negative review if they really didn't like the book. 3 people. That's it out of 100. The rest of them aren't going to tell you what they think. Somebody actively taking the time to tell you what they think means they really felt strongly about your book. That's a compliment. You've motivated them. You've inspired them in some way. So don't look that compliment in the, don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Accept the compliment even if you don't like it. Look for what you can do to improve. Look for how you can turn that compliment in your, or that that criticism in your favor, okay? And credibility. Never sell it if you don't believe in it or wouldn't recommend doing it yourself, okay? You don't want to be responsible for what happens if somebody follows your advice and it destroys their life. And I'm not really talking about lawsuits, although there is that probability. I'm talking about the emotional baggage of knowing that you have given somebody advice that totally dismantled their life. Okay? You're a writer. Readers are leaders, but writers lead the leaders. You are leading the leaders of the future. Be careful where you're leading them. Okay, what rich people do differently than you and what you can learn from them so you can become rich too. They don't make money using their money. They make money using other people's money. And how do they do that? Simple. They take things like affiliate marketing and they use that. Okay. They don't rely on one source of income. They have multiple streams of revenue coming in. They look at problems as opportunities for their future success. They look at failures as opportunities to learn. They don't pay for advertising unless it's absolutely unavoidable. They invest their time and energy in personal development and business education. They don't waste their time on time or energy on envy, okay? If they don't have it, they figure out how to get it. If they see somebody have something they want and they don't have it, they figure out how to get it. They don't envy them, they just go get it. They don't ask how much it costs. They ask how much of a return on investment they can expect. They don't spend things just to spend them. They spend things with the knowledge that every dollar spent should bring them back 10 more. They invest in cultivating relationships by ensuring people get more than they give when they hang out with them. And they create strategic partnerships so they can spend less and achieve greater impact. So let's talk about how you can leverage other people's money. All right, affiliate marketing is the biggest secret to leveraging other people's money. Just one example, Amazon will pay you money to sell not only other people's books, but your own books, okay? How crazy is that? Not only will they pay you royalties for selling your books, but they'll pay you to sell your own books. So if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving free money on the table, and that is crazy. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up for their affiliate marketing program. Most affiliate marketing programs, it does not. And any that do, I would be really hesitant to sign up. Free training is out there for you on how to make money with affiliate marketing. There are people out there on YouTube. There are people out there on business pages that will offer free webinars, free seminars, free all kinds of stuff. All you have to do is sign up and take advantage. Learn everything you can from those people. If they're willing to teach you for free, take advantage of the opportunity. It's like gold, okay? And you can do this for a wide variety of products. Anytime you find a product or a service you believe in, look to see if they have an affiliate marketing program. There's absolutely no reason for you to leave that money on the table. If you believe in it, tell people about it. Share what it's done for you. Share why you like it. Talk about it. Talk about it on Facebook. Talk about it on Twitter. Talk about it on your blog. Not only will you help promote that product and make other people aware of it, but you'll make money doing it. And who's not for making money doing what you love doing, right? So share your story about what that book or product or service did for you on Facebook, Twitter, your blog, and make money, okay? Big takeaway for you. Generate multiple streams of income with your book. Affiliate marketing can be one stream of income, but it doesn't need to be your only stream. Your books can be another stream of income. Okay, so everything you sell. But remember, you're not going to make $100 a book usually. You're going to make like $10 a book. So you want to create multiple methods of making money from that book so that you can generate a reliable, steady income and put real money in your pocket. Okay, the products you create from that book can be a third stream of income. Courses that you teach can be a fourth stream. Your speaking engagements can be a fifth stream. Once you have a successful system down, franchise that system and create a sixth stream of income. Courses and speaking engagements are labor intensive, but all those other streams of revenue are create it once, collect it forever. Who doesn't like the idea of creating one time and making money for it for the rest of your life? I mean, is that not the best deal ever? All right. So transform problems into opportunities for your success. Any problem you have, somebody else has it too. If you can solve your own problem, you can help someone else solve theirs. Teaching people how to solve their problems is a way to create success. Every problem you encounter is a book in the making. The story of how you overcame that will help somebody else. Okay. So get excited about problems. Be persistent in seeking solutions. Keep a record of your journey using a journal and share what you learned so you can help others grow. Every problem has the potential to make you money. You just have to look at it in the right way. All right, transforming failures into learning opportunities. When you fail, that doesn't mean you can't do it. It means you can't do it today. It means you're missing something. Nobody started off life walking. Failure means you need to learn something, you need to strengthen something, or you need to find something to help you, right? Babies, they fall thousands and thousands and thousands of times while they are learning to walk. They literally fail more often than they succeed when they are first learning. It takes about 1,000 times before they learn to stand upright for a few seconds, and then they fall. And they try it again. And they take one step, and they fall, 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 and then they can take 2 steps. And that's going to be your process too. So don't be hard on yourself when you fail. Keep going. Failure is just an opportunity to learn. It's often an opportunity to learn more about yourself, about the subject, about the industry, or about the situation you're in. Your story of overcoming failure is one other people will someday need to hear. Other people want to do what you're going to do. They want to know how you did it. If you can share your story, you can help them bypass some of that failure by giving them the information they need. So don't hide your failures from your audience. They need to know they aren't alone. They need to know they aren't the only ones that are failing. They need to know that there's hope that they can succeed. Okay? Don't hide the weaknesses that led to your failure. Your audience has those too, and they need help owning up to those so they can overcome them. Successful people use failure as building blocks on their way to success, and you can too, because guess what? One of these days, you're going to be successful. So here's how to avoid paying for advertising. And these actually do work, right? There are more opportunities for free advertising out there today than ever before in history, literally. Facebook is good, Facebook is free, and here's what you need to know about Facebook. I have a friend that I have met through Facebook, funny enough. She built her entire multi-million-dollar empire by sharing her story with other people, by inviting them to events, and that's how she's made her money. She doesn't pay for advertising. She uses Facebook as her mechanism, and it works, and it works well. All right. There's another opportunity. Help a reporter out. It's called Harrow, right? Daily opportunities for free exposure. Not always going to be in your industry, but sometimes it will be. And so you look for those opportunities. And if it's something you know about, if it's something you can do, if it's something you can share, respond back. Sometimes you'll get included. Okay. YouTube videos and Google Hangouts generate lots of free exposure for you, especially if you do them publicly. So don't be afraid to use those either. Submit press releases. Those don't cost you. Newspapers like them. Your chances are better in a small town than in a big city because big cities have more competition. But make it relevant to the city you're in. You know, release a press release that says something like, Dallas, I'm in Dallas. So Dallas high school graduate completes blah, or, writes book or does something interesting. Whatever you're doing, make sure you tag it to the place you're in, write it so that it's relevant to the paper and their needs. All right. Look for guest blogging opportunities on sites that have more traffic than you. I've got a guest blogging opportunity coming up on April 4th. And the reason I got it is I was on Miracy.com, which is a marketing site for small business owners. I was reading through their blog posts. I saw something that I had experienced that I could offer that was relevant, looked up their guest blogging submission guidelines, typed up my post and typed up my post proposal, sent it over. They looked it over. They liked it. They asked for the article. I sent the article. They looked it over. They approved it. And it's being published April 4th. So these people get 100,000 people viewing their blog every single day. That is a huge amount of exposure for me. And you can get there too, but you need to be persistent and you need to be consistent and you need to provide good material. So Twitter and LinkedIn are also free. Leverage them to your advantage. Encourage your followers to share your work as an expression of their appreciation. If you've delivered more value than they expected to receive, they'll usually be happy to do so. A lot of my business comes from referral because I did something for somebody that just blew them away. So they're willing to refer more business to me. The importance of personal development and business education. Okay. The most important lesson I ever learned from a book called Book Yourself Solid, written by Michael Port, is this: every business failure is a relationship failure in disguise. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I don't remember who said that, but it's absolutely true. Okay. If they don't think you care about them, they're going to wonder why you're giving them the information, and it's not going to stick with them. They need to know that you care before they open up and trust you enough to absorb the information. You have to learn how to love your fans, but love is challenging because people often don't respond to giving with gratitude, to gifts with appreciation, or to our work with enthusiasm. And so that's kind of how it's hard to maintain. If you're not constantly developing yourself personally and growing in your business education, you're not going to be able to maintain that feeling that you need to maintain and towards your audience. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get downhearted. You're going to wonder if it's worth it. And you're probably going to quit. So keep developing yourself, keep growing yourself, keep cultivating yourself, keep learning new things so you have new things to offer. Your business growth is sustained by your own ability to see your worth and to hold on to belief in yourself. The minute your business outgrows your ability to believe in yourself, you will experience a collapse in your business. I was helping my friend Syria write her story. And she was talking about how she got to the point where she is now in business success and all the failures that she experienced before. And I noticed a trend, and I realized it was a trend in my own life and a trend in many other business people's lives. You can only grow to the point where there's an emptiness inside you that can't sustain it anymore. So if you're not improving yourself a little bit every day, eventually your growth is going to outgrow your ability to handle it. Something in your personal life will come along to prevent you from being able to take any further steps forward. So don't let it collapse. Be proactive. Be constantly developing yourself personally and professionally. You don't know what you don't know. So spend time learning every day and exposing yourself to new ideas. Examine yourself daily. Where are you succeeding? Where are you failing? Look for workshops, books, and training you can attend that will help you overcome your failures and weaknesses. And look for patterns in that, okay? So if you're examining yourself daily, you're going to start seeing patterns of behavior, cycles that you have fallen into and have persisted in continuing in that are detrimental. And you'll be able to spot those patterns, and then you can work to find a solution to fix them. So that's why it's so important to examine yourself daily. Look at your life daily. What did you do well? What did you do poorly? Okay. And be honest with it. Don't be afraid of it. Be honest with it. Here's an important piece of advice. And here's where a lot of people in life go wrong. Don't waste time and energy on envy. Your business depends on you becoming your best self so that others will be attracted to you. But envy is an ugly thing, right? If you are constantly looking at other people's stuff and wanting what they have and being jealous that they have it better than you do, or that you think they have it better than you do, can you learn from them? Can you work with them? No, that envy is going to come between you, and it's going to make them feel used, and it's going to make them feel like running the opposite direction from you. Okay. And it will lead you to push away the very people who know the information you need to know to get what they have and to be where you want to be. So it's okay to say, I wish I could whatever like that. That's okay. Use your desire to attain whatever it is you think they have as a motivator to learn from them and to figure out what it will take to get what you want. I'll give you a really good example of this. When I was 4 years old, my sister was 8.5, and she was pretty good at drawing. And I would sit beside her and watch her draw horses. And she loved horses, so that was what she drew. And I admired her skill, and I wanted it for myself. I used to say, oh, I wish I could draw like that. And man, I would try and I would try and I would try, and it never came out like hers. It was never as good. But I didn't quit and I didn't give up. Well, today I have exceeded her level of skill considerably. Now, I still find people that make me say, I wish I could draw like that, but I just use it as a way to challenge myself to get better. I learn new techniques. I grow. I try new things. And because of that, I continue to get better every single day. So adopt this motto in life. If they can do it, have it, or go there, I can do it, have it, or go there too. You'll fail many more times than you succeed before you achieve your dreams. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many drawings I have that are total crap, and that will never see the light of day because they're literally not worth it. But every time I try, I get a little better. You may never be as good as they are, but you'll always have room for growth, and that's good news. So here's how an important tip too. Don't look at the price tag, look at the return on investment. Here's how to determine if something's expensive. Okay. A $4,000 purse is expensive. Why? You will never get anything more than a purse out of the purchase. It's just going to be a purse. And one day you're going to end up tossing that purse out because it's going to break or it's going to come apart. Okay. A $50,000 bottle of champagne is expensive. Why? You will have nothing left once you drink it. You'll be $50,000 poorer with nothing to show for it except maybe the bottle. Okay, so that's insane. Spending $50,000 on a bottle of champagne is insane. Okay, a $500 class that teaches you how to make $50,000 every single year for the rest of your life, that's an investment. A $5,000 service that transforms your idea for a book into a published, available for immediate sale worldwide product that can net you a monthly income of $5,000 a month or more every single month for the rest of your life, that's an investment. The difference between an investment and an expense is what you get back from what you put into it. An expense doesn't get you anything except what you paid to receive. An investment will grow your wealth. It will grow your money. It will grow your exposure. It will grow in the direction you want to go. Okay, so that's why an investment is a far more valuable thing than an expense. All right, invest in cultivating relationships. Wealthy people are known for hosting lavish and expensive over-the-top parties. Why? Well, as much as that may look like they're blowing a bunch of money for no reason, what they're doing is investing in the cultivation of strategic relationships that can help them achieve their goals. So, for instance, if you wanted to get your movie to the big screen, and you didn't know anybody in the movie industry, but you had $50,000, well, you might host a $50,000 party and invite all the people in Hollywood that you could reach to come to this lavish party, providing them all the kinds of things that they're used to having as a way of being able to introduce yourself, because that is how relationships are cultivated, is those one-on-one interactions. So yeah, they're investing in developing more relationships. So your success in business and in life is dependent upon the quality of the relationships you cultivate with others. It doesn't matter that you know somebody. What matters is what they know that you've done for them. Okay, so just knowing somebody doesn't make a difference. But if you know somebody and if you've helped change their life for the better in some way, then they're going to respond to you by wanting to help return that favor. So be sure that every encounter with you is one that leaves people around you lifted up, affirmed in their own worth, and believing that better things are possible for them. And that way you won't have to throw lavish, expensive parties in order to win friends and influence people. You'll be doing it every day. Reward the people who follow you by investing your time, your talent, and yes, your treasure in them. Prove that you believe in them by how you treat them. If you treat people well and you give them good value, they will return the favor in time. Not always immediately. Sometimes they're just not in that space where they can. Sometimes they're not in that space where they see anybody else but themselves. But eventually, it'll come back to you. Formulating strategic partnerships. When you want to host an event and you don't have the money to pay for it, what would you do, right? Wealthy people don't get wealthy by spending their own money to fix every problem. They partner with other people to accomplish together what none of them could accomplish alone. True story. So I was working at Verizon Wireless in their marketing department, and they had all these sponsorship deals. Well, these sponsorship deals and trade agreements allowed them to barter things that they needed for things that they had. So they would give radio personalities cell phones in order to get the radio personalities to come to their events or to drive traffic to their events. They would give celebrities cell phones and cell phone service for like a set number of years in order to get them to attend a set number of events. If you will partner with people, you don't have to spend money out of pocket to accomplish the same goal. So you don't have the money, look down your contact list and ask yourself, who do I know that has space I can use if you wanted to host this event? Now, then you ask, what value can I add to them if they partner with me? Always think about what you can do for them before you try asking for something from them. You formulate a proposal explaining the benefits you offer to them and what you would need for them in return. Okay, so what is it going to benefit them if you bring all these people to their business? Well, let's say that their business is struggling. Let's say that they don't have that many customers. If you bring a whole bunch of them to them, well, that's a benefit to them because now a whole bunch of people know about their business, right? So then you work together to come to a consensus, and the two of you work together to host the event. You spend less, you gain a bigger audience, and you have a bigger impact because of it. And that's how the wealthy handle things. So what writing your business can do to help you start your business? Here, it can help you identify your message, which is the beginning of building a brand. It can help you locate your audience, another aspect of building a brand. It positions you to understand the needs of your audience. If you don't understand the needs of your audience, how can you possibly serve them? It helps you craft your message, and that is a really key thing because you need to put it into words that your audience is going to respond to. And it allows you to have the confidence to begin serving your audience even before that book is finished. And you don't have to have the book finished in order to get your next client. You can actually have the book in process and get a client. I have. So the writing process and the development of your message. Every English teacher tells you to write what you know, and for good reason. When you write what you know, you don't have to do a ton of research because your life experience becomes your research. So every author pulls on personal experience with struggles to understand events or overcome challenges, and there's a reason for that. When you pull on your own personal experiences, you can talk about what emotions, you can tap into the emotional things that were happening in your life at that time and make it real for the reader. And if you do that, it will grip them. It will really reach them right where they're at. The effort you put in to understand the events or overcome the challenges is part of your personal hero's journey. Now, that's right. The hero's journey didn't come out of nowhere. We all have a hero's journey. We all have a story of turning some tragedy into triumph. We all have a story of overcoming what seemed impossible odds. We all have stories to offer, and that's really the value that we bring. The reward for your effort is that you're now equipped to teach others what you've learned. Everything you learned along the way in your journey, that's something you can pass on to somebody else. And that's valuable information because it can help them when they're tempted to give up or to quit or to stop. So don't let them quit, don't let them give up, don't let them stop, and don't let your story die with you. Don't let your story die with you. Okay? Writing the book will help you examine your journey and the lessons you learned along the way so that you can develop a meaningful message to deliver to your audience. Your message and your audience. The message you have dictates the audience you bring. Who else out there is struggling to understand the same kind of event or overcome that same challenge? Those are the people who need your message. Because guess what? They're the ones who will need your insights and your advice and your wisdom. And they're also the people who will really respond to that book the best. Break your journey into 5 segments, beginning with the moment that your life changed, to the end of the journey when you overcame and what happened right afterward. And these are 5 kinds of people who will need your book's message to help them get past their current obstacle. So here we go. You look at your audience and their needs. Look at each stage of your journey for guidance. For me, my writing journey really started when I was 4 years old, and I first learned to read because I fell in love with words. I would read everything. I would read cereal boxes, billboards, you name it. If it had words on it, I was going to read it because I was so excited by the idea of being able to capture my thoughts with words and to share that thought with another person. And so over the years, I have cultivated that craft because of that moment of excitement of being able to share. So what was my biggest struggle? My biggest struggle was my insecurity and my self-doubt. I really didn't believe that I had anything worth offering due to some things that happened in my background. So as a result, the problems that it was causing in my life, because I didn't believe I had anything worth offering, was that I really wasn't making friends. I wasn't putting myself out there. I wasn't letting myself be seen. And what I thought was the cause of my problem was that I just didn't have enough money, that if I had more money, then I would be able to market better and people would know that I was there and people would love me. And so that's what I thought the cause was, that I didn't have money. And so I thought the solution was that I should work really hard and make a lot of money and become rich and famous. And what I thought was preventing me from getting where I thought I needed to be, what I thought was getting in the way of me being rich and famous, well, at some points it varied. I blamed a lot of other things. I blamed my background. I blamed my family. At some points I even blamed my husband. So really, that's what I thought. It was that other people were holding me back. I didn't realize I was my own biggest stumbling block. What changed my perspective? That's a really good question. What changed my perspective on things was the insight that I was so insecure, I wasn't willing to commit to my dream. And because I was so insecure that I wasn't committing to my dream, that was what I was really causing my failure. I was dashing around from this thing to that thing and expending my energies everywhere, and I wasn't devoting myself to my writing. And the minute that I shifted that thinking, the minute that I decided that I was going to share my writing and I was going to share myself and I was going to put myself out there, that really changed everything. I began to connect with people who needed my help writing. I began to I landed my first big client, and so it was really exciting. And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, is that I want you to understand that I know what you're going through. I know the challenges you face, and I know the doubts that you face and the things that you're going to need to do to overcome those. And I also know that what you think is the problem most often really isn't. Okay. So once you think through your own journey, you kind of understand the needs of your 5 audience members, because you can look at your life at each of the 5 stages along the way, and you can say, okay, well, what were my needs back then? What would it have taken for me to make the next leap forward? And you can see what did take for you to make that next leap forward. And that's how you address those needs, through your own experience. So crafting your message. What is your book going to do for your readers? See, some books teach, some books entertain, some books strive for inspiration. So what is your delivery method going to be? You can pick a noun, any noun. It's for me, writing, marketing, or story. Unique style, 3 words that describe how you'll deliver on what you're going to do for your readers. Step-by-step instructions that are simple and meaningful. They can be quick, easy, and painless delivery, or honest, revealing, and personal story. So, and how will that help your audience? Because remember, when you're writing your message, everything has to be geared toward what your audience is going to get out of it. It can't be about what you want. It has to be about them. So, when I teach writing, I'm going to help them with step-by-step, simple and meaningful steps. I'm going to help them write books faster. If I entertain with my marketing, that's simple, meaningful, or that quick, easy, and painless, well, then they're going to be able to make more money. And if I can inspire them with my revealing personal story, then they're going to avoid relationship mistakes that I've made. So what will it do for them? We got 3 to 5 words, right? If you can write better books faster, you can make a difference. If you can make more money, you can achieve your dreams. If you can avoid relationship mistakes, you can save your marriage. So these are all big promises, things that are important to people, things that are important to your audience. So when you craft your message, put your mindset into their shoes. What would they want to hear in order to be able to buy this book or to take up this product? The right message gives you confidence to serve, because once you've got that message crafted, you can start talking about it. You can start talking about it on Facebook, on Twitter, and you can test it to see, how do people react to your message. If they're like, oh, wow, that sounds great, I'd love to hear more. Or if they're like, oh, well, that's nice. If they're, oh, great, I need to hear more. Well, you've done it. You've tapped into that audience. If they're just kind of blah about it, you might want to go back, gather feedback, revise the message until it works. It's either one of 2 problems. Either the message itself isn't appealing to your audience, or this person isn't part of your audience. Don't expect somebody who isn't struggling with drug addiction to be excited about a book that talks about drug addiction, overcoming drug addiction, rather. Okay? They have to be there needing that book before they're going to get excited about that book. All right. So the message is the beginning of your marketing campaign, and it's the seed that you'll use to grow your book. Because once you have that message, then you know how to break it down, and you can start building a plan on how you're going to deliver on that message. Now, why writing your book matters to more than just you. Okay. Someone out there is struggling with a pain that only you can heal. They need your message and your unique mechanism to be freed. You're the only one who has the combination of skills, education, and experience to speak to their situation. That person has gifts and talents to share, but their obstacle, the pain they're in, is preventing from achieving their full potential. And that person will change the world if you can just help them change their life. So the pain only you can heal. Okay, there are plenty of people out there who are struggling with the exact problem you once faced, and they're experiencing the exact same pain that you did. Some people can't help them because they can't see past the surface to understand where the real problems lie. Most people are like this, actually. Most people give problems only a superficial glimpse. Most people would tell you that the reason that they're in poverty is because they don't have money. Why? Because they don't see anything except the problem. They don't have money, so that must clearly be the problem. They don't ask themselves, What am I doing wrong? And they don't go deeper than that. Some people can't help them because they won't be patient enough with the weaknesses that develop as a result of the initial event that sent them to where they are at. Okay, so um, poverty really came to me. I was kind of living more or less a middle class lifestyle up until age 9. Poverty came when my stepfather went to prison, and that's when my life. We lost the house we had. We went on welfare for the first time in my life. Um, we'd never had a really, really super stable, but it was always enough to make ends meet. And his going to prison just totally blew that away. And I didn't understand at the time why, but a lot of it was mindset. A lot of the poverty that we faced wasn't money. It was being broken, too broken to know how to ask help, too broken to know how to give help, too broken to know or to see the value that we had to offer. So, all right, so some people won't be able to help them because they won't be patient enough with the weaknesses that develop as a result of that event. When you're broken, you're broken. And you're going to hurt the people who try to help you, not because you mean to hurt them, but because you can't do anything else. Your ability to look objectively at your own journey equips you to see where the problems really lie and what they need to overcome them. So you share their weaknesses, you understand their responses, and you know what you need to say to challenge them to improve. Somebody who's been through poverty can speak to somebody else who's in poverty and say, hey, look, I have been there. I know this is what you think the problem is, but let me share with you my experience and help you see that that's not really the problem. This is where the real problem is, and this is how you can get out of it. So the delivery mechanism matters. People who struggle are afraid of being judged for their struggle. If you're going to judge them, they're not going to open up to you. Somebody who's been there, though, and remembers what it's like to be there, they're not going to be judging them because, hey, guess what? They were there too. People with weaknesses often hide them because they're afraid of being hurt. But if you have that same weakness, they're not going to be afraid to share it with you because they know that you're weak there too. And your sincere desire to help them encourages them to go ahead and place their trust in you, to believe that you believe in them. Their compassion with their struggle allows them to open up to you about it. Nobody wants to be looked down on for where they're at, but they do want help if they believe it's sincere. And your courage in sharing your own weaknesses will give them hope for overcoming theirs. Because if you can do it, they can do it too. So your unique and special program. This is an important part of your message. Nobody out there has the exact same combination of skills, knowledge, experience, and perspective. Nobody's been where you've been, done what you've done, exactly the same way you've done it. There are plenty of teachers out there, but only one can teach the way you will. And that means your book is valuable by itself. You can't be cloned. The cloned will always be missing something. And that something will be the experiences that you had. So look at what's currently on the market that deals with the topic you're interested in covering. Like if you're interested in covering writing, you look around, you see what books are already out there, and put together what you have with what you know no one else is offering, and that'll help set you apart. Your book will provide a breakthrough. Look at your life. Every time you made progress, it was because you gained knowledge or insight, and usually from someone else helping you. The person out there who needs your book is struggling, and they do need your help. And they have a lot to offer the world, but their self-doubts, their poor relationship skills, their ignorance, or their bad habits are getting in the way. And it isn't just what you will tell them that will help them to change. The way you explain it by sharing your own story or by telling it in a story with characters they can relate to, that will show them how to change. And it will show them the benefits of changing, as well as the truth about what will happen if they decide not to change. Change one life and you change the whole world. So history is full of individuals who went out and made a giant impact on human history. But every single individual who made a change to the world was influenced by something they read or someone they met. And you don't have to influence everyone out there to make a difference. All you have to do is help change one person's life for the better. And if you do that, you will change the world for the better. That person will then influence all the people they know, And your book is an opportunity to multiply the number of lives you can help change and the impact you can have on the world. Let's face it, there are books that were written thousands of years ago that we are still being influenced by today. Most people have heard of the Bible. Most of that content was written thousands of years ago, but it still influences us today in every single facet of the world. Whether you believe it's true or you don't believe it's true, that doesn't matter. You know at least one person who has been influenced by that book. I'm not saying you're going to write the next Bible, but I am saying you don't have to write the next Bible to make a difference. So, this leads us with 5 products you can build from your book for little or no extra investment. You can build a t-shirt, a tote bag, a journal, a workbook, or a workshop. Now, a person wearing your t-shirt or your tote bag is a walking billboard advertising your message. They are a brand ambassador. So pair your cover art or an image that's related to your message with a slogan that exemplifies it for greater impact. These items are relatively cheap to make and to buy and can bring in $10 a piece. Selling your t-shirt or tote bag is like being paid to market your own brand. You can offer your audience an opportunity to make money from selling your t-shirts and tote bags through affiliate marketing. You don't actually have to set that up. Like, for instance, Zazzle.com, which I've used, they offer an affiliate program. So encourage them, teach them how to set up that affiliate program, and then they can make money every time they help somebody else, buy that t-shirt or that tote bag. So journals and workbooks. These items can expand the value of your book by offering opportunities for insight and exploration of concepts. So because they're disposable goods, they are a repeat sale opportunity. Once you use up a journal, you need to buy another one. Once you use up a workbook, you'll want to come back to that content when you've grown a little and go through it again. If it's really good, evergreen, in other words, always useful content. So encourage those who buy the book to buy these at different stages of their journey because the value they receive from them changes every time. Workbooks can be built around exercises and exploration of concepts. Journals can pull on quotes that you've given for reflection or even quotes that are related to your topic. Price your journal or your workbook less than your primary book. I wouldn't recommend pricing it at the same price because it kind of implies that it's got the same value, and it really doesn't. It's not a standalone product, but your book is. Your book can stand by itself, but the journal or the workbook tie back to the book. Profit margins on these can be between $5 and $7 each. And that's not bad money. I mean, if you can make $10 a tote bag or a t-shirt, and you pair that with making $14 for selling the journal and the workbook, you've made $34 and you haven't done any real extra work. And that's in addition to the money that you made for your book. Okay, workshops. These are the big money makers, so really do think about this one. Workshops based on your book are easier than you think. You just divide the contents of your book into 5 segments. You create a 10 to 15-minute talk based on your book's content for each of those 5 segments, covering the most important ideas. Divide attendees into groups. Encourage discussion of ideas for about 30 minutes by providing a list of questions. Plan a group or activity and give another 30 minutes for this to be completed. Allow sharing for the final 20 minutes. You repeat that throughout the day. You offer them breakfast and maybe lunch. You've covered a lot of ground. You can easily charge $100 for each person to attend. 20 people attending, that's $2,000 in your pocket. Offer a more in-depth workshop series at the end for another $500. If 2 people buy out of that 20, you've made $1,000. You can sell the t-shirt, the tote bag, the journal, the workbook, and copies of your book as either part of the workshop package or as a way of making additional money. And it costs you maybe a maximum of $50 to put together that package. So that's your $50 outlay, but you could make about $200 profit off of that outlay. Okay, so think about those. And the Transformational Author Pilot Program. So it's 5 1-hour, once-a-week classes that will cover each topic in greater depth, interactive hands-on help, and you'll receive support from me in writing and promoting your book. Program does have a maximum of 20 students because that's the maximum I can give attention to at a time. If you would like to request a full or partial scholarship, email me at 40daywriter@gmail.com with your completed exercises. The cost of the pilot program is $100. If you complete the classes and you've done all the exercises I give you and you still don't feel like you have a story worth telling, I will continue to work with you until you do. That's my guarantee. So, are there any questions? There's no viewers, so I doubt there's any questions. But here's the thing. I am going to go ahead and leave this up on YouTube. And if you see this and you're interested in the Transformational Author Pilot Program, I will tell you what the exercises are, and I will tell you how to get a copy of this slide deck if you'd like it. So you saw my email address. It's 40daywriter@gmail.com. I want you to, as your first exercise, email me and ask me for the slide deck and tell me a little bit about your book idea and what message you think that you would have to deliver. And if you do that, I will email you back to let you know if I still have scholarship slots. And if not, we can talk about what it will take to get you started. So thank you for joining me, and you have a great day.